Hey guys, today I wanted to talk about EHP, equivalent health points. So what does that mean? It's a measure of how tanky your character is. Like a lot of people write me and they say, oh, I have 800 resist all, but I can't do Act 2, or I'm having trouble with Act 3 even though I have 1,000 resists. I thought you said, get a whole bunch of resists. It's not working out for me. What's going wrong? And then I, look at their gear, look at their character. Usually, either they have a bad shield, and I've already covered that in other videos, but often they also have like 40k HP. It's just not enough HP. It's difficult to say, oh, you need a specific amount of resists for a specific act. First of all, the acts are really varied, but also, it's not just your resist that matters. You also need to take into account dodge, armor, and your HP. So all of that combined is a measure of how many hits you can take. It measures like how long can you survive just getting attacked over and over. And that's a measure, the true measure of how tanky you are. So I think that when you're looking for upgrades, a lot of people ignore this and they'll prefer to get a piece that has like 100 vitality and 50 all resists rather than a piece that doesn't have resists at all but might have like 300 vitality, right? And so I actually found this really cool calculator online. It was made by SaikoDrakie. He gave me permission to use it in this video to show you guys how to measure your EHP. So here is the calculator itself. I've already input my stats. So first thing you want to notice is that all of these numbers are unbuffed. Okay, so if you have any passives that are increasing your armor or something like that, you got to take it off, put something else there, and then put your raw stats in here. So you notice the armor is really low. This is an easy one to mess up because you have the tough as nails and so forth. And in the bottom here, you're going to mark all the buffs that you're going to have. Okay? So in my case, with all of these buffs, my EHP is 2.6 million with dodge. And I recommend you consider dodge in your calculations because we have a big health pool. We're taking so many hits that dodge smooths, it gets smoothed out over the fight such that you can take it into account. Like if it were a situation where 3 hits in a row would kill you, then the dodge is not going to really help because sometimes you're going to get hit 3 times in a row and then, dodge didn't do anything. But if it takes 50 hits to kill you, then dodge matters and you should take it into account. So now I'm going to talk about like how you can make a gearing mistake because you don't understand the concept of EHP and instead are focusing only on reaching a specific resist target that you set for yourself, or maybe I talked about this in previous videos, like how much resist I had when I was doing an act. Okay, so this calculator, I'll actually put the link in the description later, so you can compare items directly. So here I'm showing 2 pieces, my current chest piece that I'm using right now and the one I had before. So first of all, you can notice 208 vitality and 51 resists, and also had plus armor and some strength. Like it's 4 stats that seem really good. But my new chest piece has a lot more vitality, no resist at all, no bonus armor, but it also has extra life. My new chest piece, even though it has 0 all resists, if I replace it, I lose 10% of my EHP. I'm 10% weaker. So this one upgrade, which was very cheap, mind you, because it doesn't have all resist, people are not looking for that. I managed to get it at a very low price, and I'm very happy with this upgrade. Like my max HP is now 77k. It's about where I want it for right now, and I might even sell the old one for about the same price as I paid for this new one. That's so much better. 10% better. That's a lot. Okay, so you once you do this calculation, then it saves your character, right? It's going to save all of these stats, so you can compare your items by just putting in your pieces here, like all the slots, and then compare it to a new piece, and that's an easy way for you to search for upgrades, right? So I also want to talk a little bit about the limitations of this calculator. First of all, it doesn't model blocking at all, and that's completely understandable because you can't model block if you don't know how much you're getting hit by. So there needs to be some data on the size of the hit so you can compare to a block amount and so forth. So that's still not in, and that actually matters a bit because not just that's not modeled. I mean, block's good, so go for block. But also, when you're seeing that adding more health is better than adding more resists for a specific item change, that might be a little bit deceiving because if you're, say you're getting hit for 5k right now and your shield can block 5k. So every time you block, all of it gets stopped. But if you swap for more health and less resist, maybe you start getting hit for 6k. Just an example, numbers I'm pulling out of thin air, and then every time you block, you still get hit for 1k. So that 1k adds up over the fight and actually matters, right? If you can block for the full amount of the hit, that's much better. Another problem with just adding health compared to using resists is that when you have a bigger health pool, your life regen, your life on hit, and the pots, health pots, are going to be diluted over this bigger, like it's a smaller percentage of your total health that you're getting healed for. So, I mean, you don't go exactly for what the calculator says. Like if it's a small upgrade where you're gaining some health, losing some resist, but it's only like increasing your HP by like 1%, then you're probably safer keeping your current piece that has all resists on it. So as for the numbers that you want to be able to do an act, and that's a little bit easier to say, I think that if you have under 1.5, you're definitely out of place in Act 3. It's going to be extremely tough for you to be able to do that. 2 million is probably comfortable. You can actually hover at that level and start to increase your DPS. Like here I actually have both of the armor passives on, but when I do Act 3, I take off Tough as Nails. As you can see, it gives me less EHP. So I take off Tough as Nails and put on Berserker Rage for more DPS. And that's just fine for me. When I do Whimsyshire, however, I need to have all three up because those ponies hit so hard, right? So going from there, I think for Act 2, just extrapolating down, I think Act 2 may be 1.5 or maybe a bit less. Act 1, 1 million is probably fine. And Whimsyshire and is probably a little bit higher than Act 4. So just over 2 million for Act 4, let's say. And I think that by doing this, you can get your gear like cheaper on the auction house because you know in advance how big of an upgrade it's going to be, and you can compare different pieces that are, you know, different prices. I really recommend you set up it actually saves your character, so every time you go on this website it will start from what you had before and you can upgrade piece by piece using the item compare. And one more thing I wanted to talk about, and actually the last thing, is how this you can actually measure how much adding 1 point of stat is going to increase your EHP. So you can see here that 10 armor and all resists are about the same, at least for me, and it should be. Check out how much 1% of extra life gives, guys. It's so much. And I understand that this is high for me because I already have so much vitality. I have 1500 vitality. But it's going to be a little bit lower for you, but still it's a very strong stat. Like, you should never ignore plus 10% on an item. That's huge, right? So this is it, guys. Just go ahead, play with the calculator, measure your EHP, and then use item compare to find where your best upgrades for the price that you pay for them. I hope this helped, and thanks for watching.